Hello, I'm Jashikins.
I may or may not exist, I haven't decided yet.
That's Avexle, the British asshole. And welcome to this week's episode of Jash Talks.
I don't appreciate the meanness, frankly. I think the viewers agree with me. Bit harsh. Bloody hell.
What?
You heard me!
Maybe.
Well, what now?
And Jash Talks, for those of you tuning in for the first time, is a show where my whole basis was that, people who read my blog or watched my videos would send me in questions or topics which they stopped doing after maybe the third or fourth episode. And I like it. Sometimes I'll
Sad thing
announce...
to laugh at, but
What?
it's quite a sad thing to laugh at, but I find it hilarious.
It's okay. It's like, I knew it wasn't going to work out like that. I was like, maybe. And so I used to ask, sometimes I'll ask maybe a few times a week, like saying, hey, Jash Talks is coming up, send me questions or topics, and sometimes I'll even ask friends, and they'll say, oh yeah, I'll have it up for this week or next week, and then they never do. So now I'll I just now like doing it maybe announcing of maybe 5 or so hours before the episode airs that, hey, look, you can send in questions and topics. And I never do.
Yay, questions.
I mean, I'm willing to give away, major spoilers for my written series. So if any of you are watching that, I won't give away the ending of any of my series, but I will give away major spoilers, and so, send in those questions.
And the whole world went quiet. I suppose the reason I'm not saying anything is because I was looking. I failed to do it in time, but I was looking for. Yes, that.
Delayed sound effect. I was
Yeah.
like,
I was trying to look for how to do that, and I was gonna do it, but I missed my chance. God damn it! Oh well.
girls rule.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I want a fucking apology right now.
I can't do the
Right
fucking
now,
part.
woman.
I can't do the fucking part, but I can say I'm very sorry to hurt your ego.
Fine. Fine. What do you mean by ego?
Okay, well, the first topic today is Hannibal was renewed for a third season. That's my pathetic.
Ironically, that makes her not want to cannibalize anyone.
It's like you don't really want to anger a fandom that worships a cannibal. Not a smart idea.
Unless you really love cannibals, at which point it would be a brilliant idea.
Well, if you want to anger a fandom that worships a cannibal, you'll most likely get eaten.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I was trying to make that kind of, the obvious. It's like, do we need to say that, man? Do we really need to say that? Is that a thing that I need to say? So, fine. Right, just, Jesus. Hey, Jashi, guess what I just found out?
You're gay?
If you get set on fire, you burn. Also, as it turns out, if you drink water, you stop being thirsty. Who'd have guessed it? Who'd have thought? Shocking.
Yeah, shocking. For a British guy, but
That doesn't make any contextual sense.
I know it doesn't.
Why are you being like a child? I know it isn't. Are you gonna start copying what I say next? I'm done.
Okay, I'll be serious. I'll be really adult-like. Hello?
Sorry, I couldn't. I kind of wanted to see the reaction if I did genuinely choose to go away, which I did. I chose to come back eventually because I was. Yes, thank you, gentlemen. I did my best. I know you all appreciate my work, and I shall attempt to continue doing so.
Yeah, but I know maybe I shouldn't have worried so much that Hannibal was going to be renewed, just
You did
because
freak the
it's...
fuck out a little bit.
What?
You did freak the fuck out a little bit.
Uh, uh, you just saw a little bit the freak out.
Exactly. In all fairness, if it was Arrow that I thought was going to get cancelled, I would lose my shit, find the guy who did it, get on my ass and projectile poop on him. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Feel your pain.
It's just... I know that Hannibal has a big following on like Tumblr. It's like one of the fandoms last year that like came out of nowhere. And so I know it had a big enough fan support online, but that doesn't always equate to this is going to be renewed.
That very rarely equates to this is going to be renewed.
And then Ryan Fuller, it seems he has this thing about not being able to get past the second season of one of his shows.
Maybe
Pushing
like
Up
a
Daisies.
one-put wonder. Who knows?
Pushing Up Daisies, and I think I have to look up this. Hang on, let me just check if
You
he
mean Pushing
did Dead
Daisies?
Like Me.
He did Dead Like Me and Pushing Daisies?
I don't know. I'm going to check. Jeez. Let's see.
Yep, Brian Fuller did Pushing Daisies. Oh my fucking god, I love this man. This man is my hero.
Yeah, I need to see Pushing Up Daisies. I've been recommended that by my fiance.
Do you know what Pushing Daisies? Yeah, he did that. My god, he did two shows I absolutely fucking adore. Okay, right. Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies. What that shows to me is it's a slice of pie. It's a cake. It's a cup of tea on a cold wintry night. It's a sitting in front of the fireplace as it crackles and hisses as the rain smacks down the window outside. It's comfy, it's cold, it's warm, it's nice, it's happy, it's snow, it's warmth, family, love, and peace. It's goodness. It is pure goodness. And that's literally it. It's happiness. You feel like a child being embraced by a cat puppy dog, by a cat puppy dog cat. That's what it feels like. It feels like that. It feels like a warm, freshly toasted, freshly made burger, made just for you by your mother who works at Subway. That's what it feels like. It feels good. Point is, it's happy, it's nice, it's like drugs, it's like LSD, it's like cocaine, heroin, or opioids, it's like everything. It's good. You want it. It's like weed and tea and coke, all at once. It's brilliant. Really, it's nice, it's happy, it's a hug, it's a smile, it's a wink, it's a drifting thought in the middle of a arid wasteland. It's happiness. It's quiet. It's just. It's one.
So I assume you like the show.
Yeah, that's alright.
Oh yeah, I looked it up. He did do Dead Like Me.
Yeah, I checked it all. Basically, but honestly, if I'm being honest here, the show it is genuine. It's like a slice of pie. It's just wholesome happiness. Honestly, the show has got such almost a morbid plot to it, but it's just so happy. It's like I wish more shows like this. I just want to sit there with those people. I want to be friends with them. You know what I mean? Just like I want to be around these guys. I'd feel like I'd never be sad again. You know what I mean? And Did Like Me does it as well. It's like this Brian Fuller fellow. He seems to have a habit of getting the most morbid and horrifying concepts ever, and just making them happy and nice and cute and lovely. And I love it.
For those of you who don't know about the shows, Dead Like Me, which I've actually seen both seasons of, and I actually have the DVDs.
Damn good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about this girl who's killed by the Mir space station toilet, and she becomes a Grim Reaper. And then basically her little ventures to try to, move on. which means she has
Not
to.
proper Grim Reaper. It's more like they get tickets and they have to go collect some soul that's going to die on its own. They don't do any killing. They just go like, listen, bruv,
I
you're
didn't
dead
say they
now.
did
Got your
killing.
ticket.
I
Come on,
just
me.
said that they collected, no, souls.
They collected, but they didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, they don't do any
Grim
killing.
Reaper. Everyone always has the same image of a skull and dark cloak and
Oh, the opening for each episode, when the little music plays and they have the Grim Reapers in the cloaks, like I think
yeah.
maybe playing basketball in an office.
It's basically the thing that, and it isn't. Really, they look like normal people. They dress like normal people. People even see them. They exist. You know what I mean?
But the Grim Reapers themselves have one image of themselves, and then everyone else who's alive sees a different
Basically,
version
they're
of them.
possessing something. They're possessing a body. They got a job to do, and meanwhile, they get to live their lives. And it's never sad either. No matter what, it's
There's
never
no
sad.
possessions of bodies, they just appear differently to living people.
Well, I know, but it's essentially that, isn't it? Because they can interact, they can eat, they can drink, they can live, but yet they're not the person that they're seeing. They're just themselves.
Yes.
So it is an equivalency to possession, I suppose, isn't it? They're possessing an inanimate body with nothing in it that looks like something else that will disappear when they got solid. But yeah, it's good.
It's good. I haven't seen Pushing Up Daisies yet. I'm just saying yet. It's on my to-watch list. What I know about it is that this guy can... You explain Pushing Up Daisies since you've seen it.
Long, long ago, in literally the happiest looking place on earth where I want to live, there was a boy called Ned. Now, Ned had an unfortunate problem. See, Ned's mother dies. She has a stroke, or an aneurysm, whatever. She falls to the ground in the middle of her kitchen after having baked an apple pie. And he sits there, looks at her, and he's upset. But lucky him, he leans down, he touches her to wake her up, and she wakes up. And all is well for 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, he finds out that his best friend and his romantic interest, her dad dies after 15 seconds. As it turns out, he has the ability to bring the dead back to life. And for about a minute, he can bring them back to life without any strings attached. But after that minute passes, someone has to die. So he has to touch them again and make them die in order to have no one else die. But there's another problem. If he touches the person he brought back to life twice, they die again. So once he's touched them to bring them back, that's it. No more touching. And the sad bit then, obviously, after his best friend / romantic interest father dies because of him bringing back his mother, he then touches his mother, who dies. So they both lose their parents. She moves in with her aunt, and he leaves town, I believe, to live with his father or an adoption agency. I'm not entirely sure. I forget that bit. Then it fast forward to years later, and he's friends with a private investigator, and occasionally they go around solving crimes. And the private investigator, Emery, I believe his name is, has him bring back the people who were killed occasionally and ask them essentially, "Yo, who killed you?" And on one unfortunate occasion, the person who died was his best friend / love interest, who he hadn't seen since the day she died. He brings her back. Who he hadn't seen since the day her dad died. He brings her back to life, and obviously they have a little bit of a conversation, remembering past. And then he forgets to let her die again. So someone else dies within the area, and she stands up and she's now alive. That said, he can't touch her, so he's in trouble. But she can't go home because she's meant to be dead now. So she has to go live with him and help bake pies for a living, which is what he does. And obviously someone else dies because she was brought back, and that person turns out to be the bad guy. There we go. First episode, plot induced. From then on, it's those guys and their antics. Also, there's one more person, a waitress, or is a store he owns. He bakes pies, and I personally think she's the cutest, best person ever, and I would chop off my nuts to shake her hand. I'm just saying, she's awesome. Happiest bitch ever. I love her.
Okay, that's Pushing Up Daisies.
I
I've
love
been
that show.
watching for
Why
so
was it cancelled?
because
Why? It was happiness. It was good. And the Lord said it was good. It was. He was right. It's what the earth would be like if we never ate the fucking apple of Eden or whatever the fuck it was called. It's like sin never existed in that world. Even the bad guys are happy. Oh. I need a moment. I don't really need a moment, but the point is, alright, Gong. Anything to add?
okay,
Okay then.
that was your moment. And that was Pushing Up Daisies, which I will get to in the future.
It's actually pushing daisies. Although to be
Pushing
fair, he is now pushing up daisies.
You can't get the show title right, can you? Oh, Pushing Daisies. I can't fucking pronounce shit now. Hey! His notable works include Brian Fuller's notable works include Hannibal, Pushing Daisies, Dead Like Me, Wonder Falls, and Star Trek Voyager. Oh God. Never mind that. Okay. But yeah, I'm really glad that Fuller's got a show that has 3 seasons, that's going to have at least 3 seasons, and the show is Hannibal, because it's a horror
I
show
don't care how
where
good Hannibal is. I'll be honest with you, it's not pushing daisies, and I hate
I
it
know it's
for
not
living on.
Pushing Daisy. Can you shut up with that for a second?
No, the world needs to know about it. The world doesn't know why he lost that day. My God, it's like people keep going on about Jesus dying on the fucking cross. No, we had another. Its name's Pushing Daisies, and it lived for us. It died for us because of us. What have we done? We were not worthy.
Yeah, we're not worthy for that, but we are worthy for Hannibal.
Well, you are. I'm just saying.
I'll eat you.
Apparently.
Well, it's good news that at least Hannibal got renewed for a 3rd season, because it's one of those shows that really deserves it, because it gives audiences what they deserve.
It does deserve it. It's an unfortunate show though. They need to get on Netflix. I think they need, because Breaking Bad had a similar problem to it. It wasn't doing so well, was it? But then it got on Netflix and it blew up. They need to get properly on Netflix or some shit, and they should take off, shouldn't they? I'm not sure if it is on Netflix. I know it is on English Netflix.
Not that Netflix. You can probably order the Hannibal
Man,
on
who orders it? I don't know anyone who ever orders it. I watch Netflix online streaming.
my dad.
He's the only guy on earth who does that, I think.
Sure.
I've never done that. Well, my brother did once, but yeah.
I have the Hannibal Blu-ray of season 1, and I'm going to be getting the Hannibal Blu-ray of season 2. The gag reel's good. The commentaries are good. I love gag reels as a bonus feature.
I suppose I do too. I think my favorite bonuses are always the commentaries by screenwriters and directors and stuff. They always have nice stuff to add.
On Terminator
I
the
think actually, just a random. If you are interested in that kind of thing, might I suggest the Night of the Museum screenwriter commentary, because the screenwriters, they do commentary on it, and it's actually really good. They're quite funny, they're entertaining, they get some good points across. They say some quite interesting stuff. I think it's quite overlooked, almost better than the movie, actually, which is weird. But people should give it a check, give it a look.
Maybe I do need to get like Avengers on Blu-ray and listen to that commentary. If it does have commentary, I think it does. I think I've heard it like gift sets of it on Tumblr before.
It has to be, right?
It has to have commentary. It's one of those things that has to. I think I like when like show at least movies have commentaries where there's multiple commentaries.
I think two people are is the kind of the best, because then you can have moments of silence, moments where they're talking about interesting stuff, you know. But yeah, one person is never a good idea.
No.
Ain't nobody got anything interesting to say, you know what I mean?
In Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, they had Thomas Dekker, the season one, some of the season one commentaries. Thomas Dekker would say some like behind the scenes stuff like, oh, this building's not really a school, it's such and such building, and Lena Headey would go like, you're ruining the magic. That, or like the director would be going, you're ruining the magic. And then in season 2 commentary, lead singer of Garbage, she played Catherine Weaver in the show.
Yeah.
And like whenever her character came, like on screen, she'd go shh shh shh. So yeah, the commentaries can be interesting.
Yeah, they're overlooked. Not many people kind of give them the time of day, and I think that's quite annoying.
What's annoying?
Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies is annoying. Okay,
why did it have to die?
Okay, let's continue to the next topic that also talks about a canceled show, Revolution.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You got cancelled, guys. Just people, it's gone.
It still has one episode left, which is the finale.
People, it's almost gone.
It's like really getting good. There's the nanobot.
I feel bad for you because I know what's going to happen is the finale. They're not going to have been prepared for this. It's going to leave some kind of, oh, look at this. What's going to happen next, guys? And you're never going to know.
I hate when shows get canceled and they have fucking cliffhangers.
I think they should make a thing. They should make it a thing so that if you cancel a show, you have to give them a 1 hour final episode to tie up loose ends, or at least give them enough notice so that they can sort shit out.
Because sometimes shows are given enough warning to say, hey, you're going to be canceled, so they can tie things up. But Last Resort, which was a great show that sadly only got 1 season, was luckily given enough time to wrap things up. So by the final episode, even though things got rushed, plot lines were completed at least. There weren't really any loose ends.
Yeah, that's good. I like that, but rarely does that happen.
I don't know. There was the short-lived CW show Cult, which was sort of a show within a show. It was interesting. I personally really enjoyed it, but I think they were given enough time, but they still left a big cliffhanger. It's like the end, you find out this revelation, and now it won't ever be completed. Because this was one of those cliffhangers that
I think that, to be fair,
up a
big problem. So is it gone?
It's one of those cliffhangers that's not just what's going to happen next week, but 1,000,001 questions that are now never ever going to be answered.
Yeah, no, I hate that. I hate. Oh, Pushing Daisies. No, I'm kidding. But yes, they need to sort that. But I think. Oh my God, you just scared the shit out of me for that. Right, look. I was saying. think one thing we can take solace in though is that lately there have been a lot of good TV series. You know, I'm talking a massive. There's been more good TV series lately than there have been bad. You know what I mean? There's just it's unprecedented. We're in a golden age of TV right now, and because of that, I think that good TV shows are being overlooked because better TV shows are out there. Not necessarily making them bad, just not as good as competition. What that means, I think.
Game of Arms.
Funny. Anyway, I think what that means is that it's entirely possible that some point down the line, that like say, let's say I don't know, Game of Thrones reaches its finale. That's it. It's over. Maybe when that happens, they bring back Revolution or something similar. We're like, okay, we need to replace this. Got any ideas? How would we bring back this show we did ages ago? Didn't get much of an audience then because they were too busy watching this show and there wasn't enough time. Let's try it again. And maybe it happens. Maybe it works. I think that could happen now because there's a lot of good shows out right now. There's just not enough room. But that simultaneously means that they will be in the future and that they could come back.
Really hoping that could happen. Some shows at least could come back. I know with the...
If nothing else, Netflix.
Yeah.
Those lovely bastards will save us.
Yeah. I know with Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, with the reboot of the Terminator franchise, of continuation of this TV series, I think is going to be impossible, and I think they're going to try for another Terminator TV show, but it's not going to be Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, so who the hell gives a shit?
Oh god, I'm so sad about that. Maybe they will, you never know, because like I said, each universe is the result of the last universe, so therefore you could technically still continue the story in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, as long as you made it clear that whatever happens in the end, the act of this universe is going to be irrelevant to the next, because it will be what creates the next as opposed to the past and or present of the next version.
I hope so. I hope it's not like the day after I die that they're like, oh, we're bringing Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles back. That's the luck I have.
Being a supervillain, I basically made it my mission to make sure that happens now.
You know what's going to happen the day after you die?
That means I'm going to kill you.
No.
What's going to happen after I die?
The day after you die, Pushing Daisies is going to be renewed.
Don't talk like that. You don't say things like that. You don't speak like that, woman. It's bad talk. It's bad talk. Bad. It's bad, Jash. Pushing Daisies. But Ned made such good pies. They were so good. And Emily was making a book for his daughter, but she was he had beans.
We should retitle this episode Omar Cries About Pushing Daisies for an Hour.
Shut up! It's Pushing Daisies. I'm not Pushing Daisies. Those pies look so good. He lived in the pie house. It was a restaurant with a pie on it. A pig pie. And the pies were so good. They were steaming. And there was cherry. And there was mango and there was lemon and there was orange. And I loved it. But then they came. And they took me. No, but seriously, I hate them.
Okay. I love you too, Omar.
Pushing Daisies.
Okay.
I'll try to hold it in like a man. The manly man I am, I will hold it back. For
You're
Ned,
not a man, just go on and cry.
for Ned, I'll hold it back. Not Ned would want me to do this. I'll do it. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. The next topic, faking superpowers. We have all done it, don't lie.
I really like the ability to touch people and bring them back to life like Ned, except it'd be touching TV shows and bringing them back to life.
Like pushing daisies.
Like Pushing Daisies! Why? Why? Damn you all to hell! Why would you do that? I hate you all!
We hate
This is why I'm a
you
supervillain! Oh, fuck
too.
away! It means nothing to me! Bring it back! You bastards! Continue?
Hang on. Okay, for myself, I've only done totally have force powers by opening elevator doors. I used to do this at the library at my university I used to go to. And usually the thing I felt comfortable doing it was because no one was usually there. And so I'd feel comfortable about, the
I do when anybody's around. It doesn't matter, I just be like, mind powers, crush that can of coke. Mind powers, close that door. My favourite is the force persuasion. You know that thing they do? Where they just shake their
yeah,
arm. I love going up, like,
you
go to
will.
like some obscenely good looking woman and just start doing it and be like, you will go out with me. And then they slap me. Then they go, you will not slap me. And then they punch me. And then I'm like, you will not punch me. Then they proceed to shoot me. Then I realised that what's actually happened is I've been mugged by a guy wearing a girl mask. But, you know.
Yeah,
Live and let learn.
I see a hot girl and go, you will go out with me.
Pushing Daisies!
What?
Oh god!
What? Pushing daisies.
I was thinking, because when you die, you go on the ground and you start pushing up daisies, and it's like pushing daisies! No!
Things the show's title referred to.
Huh?
Pushing daisies.
I don't know.
You, that's a phrase.
Oh, that's what I said.
And
That's
it
why I
just,
thought of it, because if I died, because the mugger killed me, I'd be in the ground and I'd be pushing up daisies. And then I thought, oh, pushing up daisies. What does that remind me of? Pushing daisies! Oh, God! Why? Calm yourself, Omar. You're being a bitch.
you need, you
You're
need
being
a
a bitch, Omar. Everybody wouldn't like this. He'd call you a bitch. Primary. Be a man. Deep voice. Giant dick. Be a man. Alright,
yeah,
I'm ready.
small dick, spotted dick. Hi.
You know!
Okay. Let's see. Yep. That superpower thing was dumb, except to make Omar cry about pushing daisies again.
Don't talk about it like that.
Okay.
I'll hurt you.
Okay, how about,
Push
do we want to
daisies.
end the show now so, you can cry?
What?
No. Okay, let's go to announcements.
I like pushing daisies.
No one watching this episode would have any idea about that fact.
It's a good point. I should probably tell him.
Okay, tell them again.
Pushing Daisies is a very nice show and you should watch it. Also, it's gone now!
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, I have bunch of announcements this week. For one,
Coming back?
what?
Pushing Daisies coming back?
No.
Oh.
Anyways, I've been thinking of, another fic idea, and I've told 2 other people about it, and it's like one that I really want to write right now, but I don't really have the time, but I'm going to try messing with my schedule so that I do have time.
Schedule.
What?
It's pronounced schedule.
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 Whatever. Anyways, it's going to be yet another Animorphs fic, but it's going to be set post-war. Pushing Daisies. Okay, so it's going to set post-war, and it's going to... First few chapters is going to be Tobias and Marco forming a relationship. Romantics, sexual elements, though no sex scenes will be written because it's not erotica. And so Rachel, who died at the end of the series, is for some reason that Tobias and Marco won't know of at first, is brought back. And Tobias is having to deal with, he was in a relationship with Rachel before, and now he's in one with Marco, so he's going to have to deal with the whole relationship angle. He's going to have to deal with, just the fact that Rachel is back and all the feelings and confusion he's going to experience because of that, and trying to figure out why Rachel got back. Was it, the Elmist, a good guy, Krayak, a bad guy, or a third party? And I have a way it's going to end, and that will be totally heartbreaking.
Will Pushing Daisies come back in it?
No.
That'll be how it ends at the end. And while they were talking, Pushing Daisies came back with a new season on TV. Oh, that'd be good.
So that'd be the innovative Animorphs stories. Maybe it'll be like in the news or something in the background, Pushing Daisies. I might do that just for you.
If you do that, I will spread that fanfic to the ends of the earth.
Just so that maybe it'll be like a running...
Tibetan children in the middle of the desert will know of
it. Maybe I'll have it so that it'll be a little thing every chapter, maybe part of a newspaper or a poster will talk about Pushing Up Daisies coming back, and then by the end of the fic, Pushing Up Daisies will be back. And it'll be this really little tiny thing. Like, if you're not looking for it, you'll miss it, sort of thing.
Story.
What?
Story behind the story.
Yeah, just like a little thing just for you and for people who know about Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies!
Okay. And next, I finally have a Marco role player on Tumblr. I roleplay Tobias in the Animorphs series, and I've been looking for forever for a Marco role player, and this is her first time role playing, so I'm not being overly critical and trying to give her leniency. But she really plays Marco really fucking well, so if the person who's playing Marco with me, if you're watching this, if you have lasted this far throughout the video, thank you. You really are doing a good job with Marco so far.
Also, she wanted me to tell you that she would really love it if you made a super detailed erotic scene in it, because she likes that shit.
I write that shit. I don't roleplay erotica just because, in agreement with Revs, he doesn't feel comfortable with me doing, sex scenes and role plays, so I don't do them anymore in role plays. Used to.
Do it.
No. I'll write a horrible smut scene and put it on archive of our own, but I'm not going to role play it. So.
You're not, but she is.
Well. If she wants.
Do you? Oh my! Oh God, that sounds like rape, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What would you call that?
Call what?
Here's a question. Another question. is roleplay rape because technically it's role playing. So it
It
isn't
doesn't
rape.
actually real if you're talking about like online,
Yeah, online.
and you just say my character does this or that, I wouldn't
What if you're not
roleplay rape.
expecting it?
I'm going to shove something up your ass, and it's going to vibrate.
You'd have to get through the other things up there, frankly, but I can see it happening. I'm not Mr. Slave, okay? See, so
Bullshit.
what's happening here? What's happening here? All this pushing daisies, all the pushing daisies talk has driven me to a mental corner where I am just deprived of logic and happiness, and I am sad and depressed and angry, and I'm going to kill everyone.
Good. Okay. Next announcement. Pushing Daisies is now renewed. Next announcement. Next announcement. Tobias and me. I just finished writing the latest chapter, and so it should be released tomorrow. And after that, there's maybe 3 or 4 chapters left. So that was Tobias and me is my gift pick for Cat. So, and the title doesn't really make sense to me because at first, I created the title when I was thinking the viewpoint was going to be from Cat, and then I switched it over to Tobias, and now the title doesn't make fucking sense, but no one has complained, so I'm like, I'm not going to change the title then.
Should have changed it to I am Tobias.
Tobias, Cat and me.
I am Tobias.
What?
Cat and me, Tobias. Okay, your choices are I am Tobias, or Tobias I am.
I'm going to stick with Tobias and me unless I get
Just
a big
Tobias.
uprising.
Tobias and Cat. Tobias and friends.
No, it's really the majority
Tobias
of
and
the
Batman. Tobias and Ned from Pushing Daisies.
I was waiting. Okay. Next, Pushing Daisies isn't renewed. And for my Terminator fic, The Eternal Heart, one of my big, long-running series is going to go on another hiatus after the next chapter. So just be prepared. Except The Eternal Heart will come back.
Pushing Daisies will come back. It is written in the stars. That kind of goodness cannot leave us. Look, see, you're coughing. You've been struck down by the god Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies is going to make you push up daisies. Apparently and possibly literally. Why would you someone die? I hope not. Third one's the charm?
I usually just do 2, but I'm doing a third one just because it got really bad.
Well, that was not... I was not expecting that. Apparently,
Yeah.
if you would stop pushing daisies, you end up about to push up daisies.
Yeah, that would not have been cool to have like viewers see me dying.
Well, you'd probably get a couple million subscribers.
Hey, but I'd be dead.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to take over.
You don't know my password.
Yet.
You couldn't take over. Okay. Also, since the Eternal Heart will be going on hiatus, and every time I go from main series to main series, I now do an in between, a mini series for in between. The next one I've decided to do is most likely going to be my The Following / Animorphs AU crossover, which I have been thinking since the beginning of the Following Season 2 premiere. And I wanted to make this a long, but I sadly don't have time for that now. So this is going to be a little sneak preview of something I hope to actually be able to do in the future.
This is good.
Like, the thing that made me start to want the crossover was that Shawn Ashmore is in the following. Shawn Ashmore also played Jake in the horrible Nickelodeon Animorphs TV show.
I don't know who that is.
Shawn Ashmore, Iceman?
Oh, him! Oh!
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know, very rarely do I know an actor's name. I just know who they played. I don't know Spider-Man's name. Just know that he's Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield?
No, the first one.
Bitchface?
Yeah, bitchface. Close enough. He was bitching so much, he might as well be. Honestly, the mopey Spider-Man ever.
I have no problems with really the first Spider-Man.
Oh, come on, watch it again. You'll notice.
He's not I prefer Andrew Garfield,
vastly.
but the first one's, decent for the script he was given.
It's good, but it was only good because we had no way of comparing it to what it should have been like.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like Spider-Man's such a bitch in that he's like constantly just going on about shit. I'll give you that. The one thing that Spider-Man beats the new ones at is it's a bit more dramatic. There are times in the first Spider-Man where I was like, "That's so fucking cool," whereas in the second series, I very rarely get to the point where it's like, "That's so fucking cool." I get more to the laugh. Look at Spidey, he's making fun of the bad guys, except for that moment in the second one.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert: Gwen Stacy dies.
And it's like, you haven't seen it, but it's the most visceral death scene I've ever seen. It's like, you see every moment, and you see when it happens, and it's like and it just happens, and it's like, wow. It's like I was watching it, and I was like, they're not gonna do it. They're gonna make a fuck off to another country or something, and then get Mary Jane here. They're not gonna do it, and then they did it, and I was like, oh, you sneaky motherfuckers.
I was really hoping she was going to last another movie because I knew she was going to have to go.
If they did it, the way they did it, I would argue, I would agree with you in one way. They should have left it for one movie, so as to make it more dramatic. Make the enemy this time who failed to kill her fail, and then next one make him get her. And I want him to know Mary Jane for a period before she dies as well. Okay, because I quite like that. I want it to be known that Gwen Stacy is the one, because she was in comics or in the movies. No matter where you go, Gwen Stacy is generally considered to be the one. You know what I mean? She's Lois Lane essentially. Mary Jane afterwards is settled for her.
Yeah.
But now we won't know that. Now it's not going to be settled. It's we don't know. He might have chosen her. It will never exist in the same time period. We don't know. But yeah, Pushing Daisies.
Okay, and the final announcement, second to last announcement, Pushing Daisies is not renewed.
Damn you! As a person, I hope you're ashamed of yourself.
And finally, the actual final announcement is that the Shormlet Chronicles if you're following on my Tumblr, the Look I Stole a Bladeship.tumblr.com quote-unquote Season 2 of the Shormlet Chronicles has started. So, yeah, you'll maybe a couple of times a week I'll try to update it.
She hopes. She'll probably not survive that long. She's insulted Pushing Daisies this many times. Frankly, I'm surprised she has a lifespan as long as the rest of this episode. Oh. The clock is ticking. Tick. Oh. Tick. Oh.
Okay.
I was trying to be
So
as creepy as I could then. I don't know why you didn't get it for some reason. It's moved right past you. You could give a shit. I'm a little insulted. The fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if we had any viewers, but if we did, they just ran away.
Some people, watch this show after it's aired, so. And I'm actually going to be retitling this episode, Jash Talks, Omar Cries About Pushing Daisies.
It's a valid explanation of what happens, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the gag throughout this entire episode.
You mean gag? It's true horror. Why?
Whatever. Okay, and until next video, goodbye. And Omar, do you have any final words?
Pushing Daisies.